Okay, here's another quick one using After Effects to get you started on your project to do an intro or fanfare, as we call it. So we open up After Effects, click New Project. Since we're not using existing footage, we're just going to click on the new composition. We're going to just call this Intro. From here, we're going to leave the width as 1920 by 1080. And the frame rate will stay the same, and for now we're just going to make sure this time duration is how it goes for, because the intro is only short. We're going to leave it, I'll set that to 10 seconds. By default it's 30 seconds usually, so if you change that to 10, leave the background as black, and that should be enough for us to go okay. So make sure to just change that duration there for 10 seconds. Okay, that gives us our composition. So from there, first thing we're going to do is add text. So we go up to the top, we click the T. If this isn't showing the same as yours, you may be on the Learn tab. So just click on the default or the standard one, then we click on T, go into the center of the screen, click and drag that out. So I'm going to call my intro, or my production company, Mine. I've already changed my font, so to do that, if you need to, we're gonna select all of that. And sometimes for some reason lately Adobe or After Effects, when you try and select it all, it doesn't do that with doing a click and drag. So I do Control A on Windows, and that gives us that quick selection. So it just means select all. Then we're going to look at our settings. So at the moment we've got that they're centered in the box. We can change our size to left indent, etc. We're then going to go to character. So this allows us to choose our font. So we can see here I've got the Ravy. I have my fill as white, I have my stroke outline as that light blue greyish colour. From there I've set my text size to 48, that stroke size to 6, and whenever there's this blue text, if you move the mouse over that, you'll see the double arrowhead, and then if you click and drag on that, that will make the size increase or decrease depending on which way you go with that mouse. You can then also change the vertical height or scale it here on this box, and the horizontal one on this side. That's pretty much all we're going to worry about now. You can do like subscript and superscript over here and change like the bold styles, but we're not going to do that for now. Okay, once we've done that, we are then going to go to the effects. So up on this top left hand corner we have these double arrows. We go to the effects workspace, and here in the effects and presets button we're going to search for a couple of different effects to apply to make it look a lot better easily. So it just applies in a template for us. So I'm going to type in glitch. So we have this VR glitch, and similar to Premiere Pro, we just click on that and then we can drag it across here, and we can see when it's going to be, where it's going to be applied by that red triangle. So we click on that, and so we can see it's applied the effect. From there, just to test it out, I'm going to press the space bar to play it. You can see this little green bar loading at the bottom. That means it's just rendered. So we're going to press space now to see how that looks. And at the moment, obviously it's not processing that properly for some reason. So we're going to leave that glitch on there for now, but I'm also going to do a color effect. So if we go down here, we have fill, color wipe, flicker color scale, sliding color flicker. So I'm going to go to the sliding color flicker, going to drag that up onto there again, and we can see that changes color. So a couple of things you need to know. So on the left hand side we've got that VR digital glitch. Sometimes when you put an effect on there, it doesn't always look like it's changed because you have to change the settings. So we've got the speed there of the glitch, the amount of distortion. We also go down here, so we've got our text settings, and this is the animator one for the one that I just added, so the sliding color flicker, so we can change some of those colors in their range and what they go from. I'm just going to leave it as default for now. You see the effects is the VR digital glitch, so we have all these different settings as well, so we can control when and where and how that is applied. And the last one is the transform. So I'm just going to quickly go over a couple of these. So anchor point controls this little crosshair here. So if I want that to be in the center of my text, I need to adjust that. So what this impacts is, like, for example, if we do the rotation. So for example here, when I do rotate, see it rotates around that anchor point. But if I want that just to go from the middle of the text, I need to change that. But I need to change the vertical one, so we're going to scroll, click on that and go to the center and put that in the center of that. So now when I do the rotation, you can see that it rotates around from the center of the text. Now if I just do Control Z, that undoes the last step that I did. So we have that little flicker. For some reason the glitch isn't applying itself properly, but we'll ignore that for now. So now it just keeps on repeating as it goes through that as a continual loop. Okay, next, I want this to scale in as we go. So I'm going to press pause to start there, put our pointer back to the beginner, our marker, and we're going to start off to the scale, and as the time progresses it's going to zoom into the text. So I'm going to set my keyframe here, so that little clock next to the word scale, I click on that, it turns blue, and now there's a little diamond on scale position, so we can see that that's like a starting point where a value sets or is changed. So as that goes over this, I want to just keep on zooming in till the end of the clip. So my scale for the end of it is going to continue to keep on going. So this is just going to automatically do it for us. So by the end of the clip, that's how big it's going to be there. I'm going to stop there. And you can see down the bottom right hand corner, we have that little blue diamond again, showing that that value or a keyframe is being set. So now if we scroll back through here, scrub across that, we can see our intro. Finally, I'm going to do an opacity one so it fades in. So I'm going to clip the opacity keyframe, click that there. I'm going to start that and set that down to 0. And then by this first second, I want to have come in by then. So now I move my marker, and now I set this opacity to 100. And so now you can see this green part here as how much is processed or rendered. So we're going to go back, press the space bar, you can see it's going a little bit slow as it's processing that for the first time, and so now it's loaded, it will go a lot quicker, and that's what it's going to look like in the end. So to export this, we're going to go up to File, Export, Add to Media Encoder Queue. Just wait for a moment. So it's loaded Media Encoder, but it hasn't loaded our file. So what I'm going to do is close the Media Encoder. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to choose where I want to save it so I can easily find it. So I'm just going to go to Videos. I'm going to call this Intro. So just type in Intro, and now I'm saving it in my Videos folder. I click Save. So it's actually now finally loaded in there. Is that intro one, but if it doesn't load in there for whatever reason, if I click on this plus button, I go to my videos, and I can load my project. So I scroll down to find intro. That's the intro mine. I open that. That just finds all the files. Click OK. And so now if I click play, it's going to load and process that file for me and convert it to MP4 because we've got that H.264